I love the title of this award. I love the enthusiasm that you guys brought when putting this on the board. The Golden Shinguard / Shin Pad Award. Awarded basically to the NHL's best defensive defenseman this season. This is one where you figure the NHL should probably have an award like this. It's probably the likeliest outside of maybe like the most improved player or something that the NHL should consider, because the Norris is a little bit biased. And basically the criteria is they're a shutdown king, an absolute warrior on the PK, a demon in the defensive zone, and just a master of the little things in general that they don't get a lot of love. This is I think similar to the fourth line guys that never get the credit. We're giving them the credit now. 100%. Dave, I know you're enthusiastic about this one, Dave. I'm going to give this one to you here.
This one came from a place of like I'm pretty sure me and Christian, this could have been like on one of our train rides.
We did this on this pod.
Did we do this on this pod as well?
We talked about this at the end of a pod, early in the season,
Where like,
but this is one we thought of before too,
we formulated this one from like a lot of these we were like, oh, this one seems kind of funny, but this one was like a shoo-in from quite a while ago.
I mean, we had articles pop up this year of people who like took it seriously. They didn't call it the Golden Shinguard. They just said like best defense, right? There's been a bunch of those, and I think, Dave, what I liked about it too is that like we put like the football flavor on it, football flavor, right? You have the golden boot in soccer, and I think the funniest thing not funniest because you could have other ones too, but Golden Shinguard is just a funny image in my head. So.
Especially like holding up a Golden Shinguard like on a trophy.
Yeah.
I also kind of took this as the award for the real good pro who just gets in front of the rubber. I put that one down in my notes. So what I did was I looked up the top 4 shot blockers this year. So these are all players that I think could realistically end the season. Maybe not all of them, but end the season with the most amount of shot blocks with 5 to 10, whatever, if it's like 7 to 10 games left in their respective seasons. So would anybody like to take a guess at who leads the league? I will give you a team if that makes it easier.
I have 2 names of the 4, I think, but I actually don't know who's number 1.
I got a couple of guesses. Christian, go for it here.
Okay, I'm pretty sure this guy's number 2, but because I can't have someone come to mind right now, like Nick Seeler.
No. Not even in the top 5. Oh, not even in the top 4.
What the hell?
He's struggling.
I don't got a name then.
I'm going to guess a couple here, Dave, just to see if I can sneak a couple in. We'll start with one that I think is front of mind. Is Chris Tanev in that list?
He is. Right now, he's number 4.
Okay. Is Moritz Seider in that list?
Not on the list that I found.
That is okay. And my last guess is Alec Martinez.
No, but that is those are good picks as well. Hopefully I got this one right, because like now if I bring
I've got the list here, Dave. I've got it.
Okay, so number 1, Jacob Trouba, 201 blocks on the year.
Wow.
Ian Cole just behind him on Utah, 195 blocks.
My God.
Number 3, Rasmus Anderson on Calgary, 184 blocks. And rounding up the top 4, because I think after this, it's like we're getting to like plus like 30 is like the the spread between 5 and 1. So I'm like, okay, 30 blocks in 10 games seems kind of crazy, especially for those guys as well, like that are going to be playing probably. But Chris Tanev, number 4, 176. I just had to shoehorn Chris Tanev, and I could have stopped. I could have stopped at number 3, but I gotta show love to Chrissy T. Just been absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna just go off on a limb and say Jacob Trouba probably just ends the year with the most amount of blocks. Now, I don't know if you guys have other names in terms of like, because I took Shinguard as like quite literally like these guys just get in front of the puck. So that's how I kind of went with this. But everybody, all the other names that you guys had could definitely be in contention at some point. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Nick Seeler, I did look. He is tied actually with Chris Tanev, so he's technically 5. So he's also got 176 blocks. So thank God I didn't hallucinate that one too badly. This is where I actually had Nick Seeler come up. I looked at shot blocks per 60. That taking it too far for no reason at all. And Nick Seeler is number 1 at 8.78. David Savard is there too. Chris Tanev's still 4. It's like it's still the same names in the top 5.
It makes sense.
Like we're dealing with the same guys. I still want to give it to Chris Tanev personally.
I'm fine with that.
But you know what it is too? It's just this like we didn't know what this type of player looked like until we got him. Like we have thought we've had shutdown defensemen in the past. From a Leafs perspective, like who have been some of the best quote unquote shutdown defensemen in this era? Like it's not a long list. Like you're going
Brody,
to Jake, like exactly. You get to TJ Brody very quickly. Like I think it's
not
Jake
good.
Muzzin, and then TJ Brody.
Like
that's how quickly you get to TJ Brody. Jake McCabe, now that he's been here for a couple of years, probably leaps, maybe even both of them. I'd say definitely Brody. Muzzin's a heftier guy. Chris Tanev, I think, honestly, like is just he is like the physical embodiment of the shutdown defenseman, and it's night and day difference from a guy. Like I would have told you, not last year, but 2 years ago, 3 years ago, like TJ Brody is a really good shutdown defenseman. Like he's so responsible with the puck. He's a smaller guy, but he knows what he's doing with it. That's true, but like Chris Tanev, it just blows him out of the water. Like that's what a shutdown defenseman looks like.
100%.
I think I agree. I think Chris Tanev deserves it just based on we're a little biased, but like the sample size we've been given has proven. I want to see if S.L. Lendl would get any votes if this actually came up in contention.
That's a very good show.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a little bit more offensive touch than I think a lot of these guys. And by a little, I mean like very marginally. I think he's got like 20-something points this year. But just doing all of this without Heiskanen and like being kind of that number one guy, but also trying to manage all of the positions that he's been put in and still having the team be really good. I think he's like plus 36 or something this year. So I just think that adds a lot of value. And
11th in blocks, by the way, 158.
Okay, so that's not bad. So I mean,
he's there.
I think if we're looking just in terms of like best defensive defenseman, and it's a little bit less about blocked shots, I guess, I think I'd probably give him the nod, or at least like a look. But I still do think like if all things come down to it, I like Chris Tanev as our selection.
I like it too.
You know what it is too? It's like every team he's been on, like this guy's never got a bad review.
Yeah.
Never. Every time there's a Chris Tanev highlight, I see comments of people like, wish we still had him from Vancouver, Calgary, and Dallas.